In your Arepa Kit box, you will get 4 pressed arepas, corn powder, lime zest, and salt. And then on the side, you will have the Bergamot Labneh, eggplant sambal, and enough oil to cook your arepas. So to cook arepas, in the kit, you will get enough oil to cook for a small pan. But if you don't have a small pan, you will need extra oil to cook between a medium and large pan. Okay. Two things: I will not put more than 1 arepa in the pan. Cook it one at a time because you will need to look after it and basting at the same time. And before you start cooking it, just make sure to get a tray with a J-cloth and kitchen paper just to absorb the extra oil that comes out from the arepa when you take it out the pan. Okay. So one of the things you will need to get your arepa out, and just to test the oil is hot, don't put your hand on the oil now. Just get a little piece of the arepa, all right, and just drop it in the pan. If it starts to sizzle and floats up, you know the oil is perfect to cook your arepa. Okay, you can see it's come up to the little piece is coming up to the heat. It's got a little sizzle, it's got a little crackle. So we're gonna add the arepa into the oil. And remember not to put the arepa towards you because it will splash and will probably burn you. Just put it away slowly, gently, and drop it. All right? And all that time, you just want to hear that sizzle in your ear because you know that oil is perfect. If you find that there's not much bubbling and going on, just turn up the heat by 1 or 2 notch. Okay. So one of the tricks too, you'll start seeing the arepa will be bubbling on the sides, and it started to float up, and that's basically shallow frying. And what you want to do is just make sure the oil is always covered with the arepa by using a slotted spoon, all right, or a big kitchen spoon. It will really help cooking this. And now what you need to do is just keep moving around the arepa on the sides and just keep basting it and basting it. In time, you should see a little puff on little parts of the arepa. You know it's working. Okay, and one thing, guys, like, you don't have to worry too much about the puffing action. You really want to just cook through the dough and get a golden brown color. If it doesn't puff, it still works as a great flatbread to go with this with the garnishes we gave with you. You only flip it once. The best way to do it is just pick it up on the sides, have a look. If it was golden brown, then it's time to flip. If it's a bit white, you got to keep cooking and just keep getting that spoon and basting that arepa. You can see my arepa is ready to go. I'm gonna flip it gently. And when you flip it to the other side, you just want to cook it for another 30 seconds to a minute. Just get some color going on. Like I said, if it doesn't puff, don't feel too bad about yourself. You got another 2 to 3 pieces there. You can keep practicing, and it still works nice as a flatbread instead of a puff arepa. Okay, I'm going to take it out gently. Just make sure you get the excess oil out. That's why a slotted spoon will come in handy, or like a big spoon, and just pour it on the side. And then put it on your J-cloth. Season with salt straight away on top. Let it cool down for about 2 to 3 minutes before serving. So to plate the arepas, the arepa is rested for about 2 to 3 minutes. Season with salt. We're going to dust it with a little bit of corn powder. You can actually dust it on both sides, so one side, it's totally up to you. And that gives a little bit of sweetness and texture. Then we're going to sprinkle a little bit of lime zest on top. Okay, once you have done that, basically you can eat the arepas as itself. Serve it a little bit of the Bergamot Labneh and the eggplant sambal on the side. You can tear it like a flatbread and just go through it as a dip. Or if you do accomplish the arepas and make it puff, you can actually cut it in half, scoop the Bergamot Labneh inside and the eggplant sambal, and eat it like a pita pocket. Enjoy, guys.